on to our next letters round. Barrie, it's your choice this time.
Consonant, please.
Thank you, Barrie. X.
And a vowel.
I.
And a consonant.
Z.
And a vowel.
A.
And a consonant.
M.
And a vowel.
O.
And a consonant.
F.
And a vowel.
E.
And a consonant.
And to finish. Oh no. Sorry. Q.
Best of luck with them. Kirk, what did you make of that?
5.
And Barrie?
5.
Barrie, what's your 5?
Maze.
And Kirk?
Scruffily written down maze.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 5, the most these two guys could make of it, and I expect you've probably not got much more over there, have you?
There is a nice one using the X, moxie, which is an American term for grit or nerve. You've got the moxie.
Oh, OK. Thanks very much indeed. Kirk has 26. Barrie has 11. It's time for our first numbers round of this particular contest, and Kirk, it's going to be your selection.
Just one from the top and 5 from anywhere else, please.
Thank you, Kirk. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this first game we have 9, 5, another 9, 4, 7, and the 25, and the target to reach 464.
30 seconds to find that target. Barrie, how close do you get?
463.
463, OK. Kirk?
463.
463. Barrie, let's hear your version of it.
4 times 5.
4 times 5 is 20.
I tried multiply, I'm trying to say I'm wrong. I've lost it.
You've gone wrong. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
Okay.
Barrie.
Kirk, over to you then.
OK, I'll start there, and minus 7.
Right. Minus 7 is 13.
And then I said 9 and 9 is 18.
9 add 9 is 18.
Times 25 is
Times
450.
25 is 450.
And then I'm adding on the 13.
And adding on a 13. Oh, 16. So 4, 6, 3. One away.
Very well done. 464, Rachel?
If you say 25 times 5 is 125, minus the 9, and you get 116. Times that by 4, and you get 464. There we go.
Barrie and Kirk can relax for a moment or two. Of course, Phil Hammond's been keeping us company all week long in Dictionary Corner. It's a final anecdote of the week then, Phil. What have you got for us?
Well, first I want to get a bit of specialist opinion, because doctors are hopeless at going to the doctor. They make the worst patients. And last time I was on here, I had a trouble with, I thought I might have melanoma on my toe, and it turned out to be a bruise, so I'm still alive. I was on Have I Got News For You once, when Angus Deaton was chairing it, and he's got a big mole there. And I said to Angus, has your mole changed any recently? Has it got bigger? Has it got smaller? And quick as a flash, Paul Merton said no, but his head's got smaller, which makes the mole look bigger. And we kept going on about his mole, and then about 2 weeks later I had this letter from Hattrick, who are the makers of the programme, saying, from someone who's watching it, said, thank you for your most informative information about moles, and having heard you on Have I Got News For You, I went down to get my mole checked. I was found to have a melanoma that was removed and saved my life. It's the only life I've ever saved by teasing Angus Deaton about his mole. So I think it's always worthwhile getting that sort of thing checked out. I think the reason that doctors make bad patients, though, is we know what can go wrong. And you probably saw this in the news recently. They published a safe surgery checklist, which all hospitals in the NHS and private hospitals actually are now supposed to use. And it's a little tick list for doctors to go through, surgeons to go through, to make sure they're cutting the right leg off on the right side at the right time and place. You'd hope they'd do it anyway. But what's interesting is that checklists came into operation in the airline industry about 70 years ago. They built a new Boeing, the Americans did, for the war. 4 engines, first time it's going to be the big warplane, and it crashed on takeoff. And it wasn't because the plane didn't fly, it was because it had become so complicated you need to do certain things in a certain routine, and they needed to use a checklist. And it's taken us about 70 years to realise this. There are now 240 million operations worldwide. It is more common than childbirth, having surgery. And although complications are rare, we still get 1 patient a month in the NHS has the wrong organ removed or the wrong site removed. So this great thing, it tells you to tick things off like, is it the right side? Is it the right patient? Is it the right operation? Have they had the antibiotics they needed? Have they had the drugs to stop them getting a clot? But it's not coming in until 2010, which I think is a bit of a thing. So my theory has always been you need to interact. We produce all these guidelines. We now have an NHS constitution that has 25 rights for patients. Can you name any of them? Have you read it? We produce these things from government, but what makes a difference is people interacting at the level and taking this in and asking. Last time I was on, I promoted my new T-shirts.
I remember.
Don't touch me unless you've washed your hands, which you wear them as a gown. Have you done one like me before? We're doing another one. And it's just a case of being a little bit brave and asking the odd awkward question. If you want to know some more awkward questions to ask, I can recommend my book. Trust me, I'm still a doctor. If you just want to laugh, I recommend Medicine Balls. But that's the way to save the NHS, to encourage patients to ask slightly awkward questions. So if you want to get this, the National Patient Safety Agency website will give you a safe surgery checklist. Just take it in and say, excuse me, are you following this? Just be a little bit assertive when you go in and have your operation. That's my top tip for the day. Thank you.
We have a checklist here on Countdown as well before we come into the studio. It says brain in order, mouth in order, and it's amazing how rarely both of those things are actually in good working order. Here's our first teaser of the day. The words are Milan egg, and the clue, shining like a happy Chinese vase. Shining like a happy Chinese vase. Back in a moment.